Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time. We're looking at 2024, man. We're predicting what are the most anticipated albums. Okay, which albums are you looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm just gonna go through a no ranking or no particular order type of list for my most anticipated albums. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe if you haven't. All that good stuff that I usually do on top YouTube, you know.
Now we're gonna talk about something serious.
Thank you so much for tapping in. We're about to get into it. First off, Odumodu Black.
Why they wanna bring blood down to my front?
But this time around with AntiWorldGangstas, okay?
For their hotel lobby, with the gang smoking, but they say no puffing for their hotel lobby.
AntiWorldGangstas has been the collective that Odumodu has been a part of since he started rapping, essentially, and he has been able to like refine his rapping skills with this group for quite some time. Obviously him catching on fire essentially this past 2023 and blowing up to become one of the breakouts acts last year. It only made sense that it was going to bring up and champion his guys with him on this particular trajectory, and he has been pitching them to Def Jams, where he's signed to right now. But anyway, he has announced it that he is going to make or bring forward an AntiWorldGangstas album, and we saw a glimpse of that in the uncut version of Ezioku. So I'm excited to see what he can bring with Fatboy, with Replay, and the rest of the AntiWorldGangstas guys. They've dropped an album before, earlier, when Odumodu was not necessarily a household name by then. But that album was phenomenal. I still enjoy a lot of the tracks there, and I'm anticipating what they can offer in 2024. Alright, next up I got Bloody Civilian for her debut album. I'm calling it for a debut album. Yes, another Def Jam artist that is definitely one of the most recognized names in terms of fresh new artists out in 2023. I definitely love the run that she had with her debut EP and the phenomenal feature she had on Ezioku with Odumodu Black.
We came here to party, Nana, but you came here to find me. Came here to find me.
Her presence on social media is one to envy right now. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Bloody Civilian. I'm anticipating what she can be able to present to the Nigerian pop landscape. I think with this EP and her feature, she definitely is bringing something new to the table, and I'm excited to see that in an album context. An artist I'm looking forward to seeing an album from this year in 2024, Lojay.
How many shisha meta? How many crates of supena? I never no feel wash away.
Lojay, I'm anticipating an album from Lojay. I've been a big fan from the moments that SARS essentially presented him to the rest of the world.
One night lover, blood and fire, turn my balance to small boy dollar.
World went back to his earlier catalog, and really I've come to like appreciate the penmanship of this artist, playing with very interesting metaphors and similes as an R&B leaning artist has been one of the very huge stamps that he has been able to make on the scene, and I'm anticipating that on the full-blown album context. We haven't gotten that yet from him. Obviously, he has been teasing records here and there, trying to see what would take off and what he can present an album with, and that's the balance of many pop albums. Many of these artists are not necessarily releasing music because they don't have a hit song to kind of like campaign on right now. But Lojay had a brilliant 2023, even though yes, he didn't have a chart topper like hits, but when it comes to features, when it comes to his own material,
goody, girl, goody, bam, bam. I need you now. Put me on fire like a lantern.
I think he had a phenomenal year when it came to just the raw material. Now, I just want to hope that he's able to catch on some momentum and he can build that up into an album in 2024. Another debut album I'm anticipating is Oxlade.
All of them know say I'm bloody on good.
The day where every niche about, every tongue confessing on God.
I anticipated this one last year. We didn't get it, but we definitely must be getting it this year. We are due Oxlade. We are due. Yes, there might be some arguments to say that he must have fumbled the Kulosa bag. Yes, sure, you can make that argument. Absolutely. There's a lot of work that could have been done in order to put his brand in front of that song. And when it comes to viral moments, his moments with Kulosa is definitely one that will go down in history for sure as one of the great songs or great moments of this streaming era. And I really want to see him on an album scale. Like, we've got to see him on phenomenal EPs. He has never missed with his EPs.
Girl, you be like oxygen. I want more of you. Only me want to see all of you.
And I'm looking forward to a full-blown album. Yes, he signed to Epic Records, or at least has a JV kind of, or a licensing deal with Epic Records. I hope that isn't holding him back per se, but I know he had some health issues, some medical issues that he announced last year. I'm hoping that all that has been resolved, but we've had good signs of him coming back with the recent 2-pack that we got from him with Category and with the other song with P Prime. And he dropped the record also last year with Dave that is doing favorably well for him, and it's a phenomenal record.
I don't want to make assumptions. I called you. Why you gonna text me? It's better you kill me.
All these are signs to points that he might be ready for an album, his debut album. Okay, big moment for him, and I'm looking forward to that in 2024. Oxlade, let's make it happen. All right, another album that is, I won't say is due, but there's a momentum right now that it only makes sense to follow up with an album. Ayra Starr, okay.
My reading, my blues, my activity, everything from Monday to Sunday. Say you be my goal.
Easily one of the faces of Afrobeats on the global stage. In the last 2 years, she has quickly blown into a premium brand for an artist, or at least a female pop artist in Nigeria. And right now she's Grammy nominated.
Best African Music Performance. The nominees are Rush, Ayra Starr.
I want to check if my dad be no wrong, but he did rush well, he be much.
Being able to show up on many numerous like festivals, amazing features, amazing run of features that she got last year. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of work that she's been putting in, and it only makes sense to help to like capitalize on all of these with an album, or at least to you know what I mean, to bring it together on an album. I know she's anticipating some singles. She's dropping some singles already teased one recently, a song called Commas.
I carry God, so I fear nothing. Steady increasing the commands.
So I am expecting an album this year. I think an album will be coming out. She got a debut album, 19 and Dangerous, in 2021. That was phenomenal. My album of the year that year. And I am anticipating a very well and seasoned Ayra Starr, and even much more developed Ayra Starr that has gone through the ropes in the past couple years in between albums. And I'm anticipating what this one could sound like. Okay, Adedamola, it's your turn.
You are my body, you are my soul, you are my better half, you are my all.
Fireboy, we need an album this year. This album would serve as a redemption arc for him, or at least a redemption moment. Because in recent times, yes, he hasn't been able to present a phenomenal, or at least a song that matches to the heights of a Peru, which would be unfair for him to follow up with that. Yes, he had a great moment with Bandana, but a lot of the conversation, at least the narrative around Fireboy, unfortunately has been one of he fell off, or he has basically lost some of the momentum or star power that he had. Even though you're looking at the material, looking at every record he was able to contribute to and present last year, it wasn't bad. It just didn't connect, or at least the landscape is shifting a little bit away from where he was, away from the sonics of a 2019 when he brought his classic there's also conversation about the landscape shifting, but then again, I think Fireboy, he's reinventing himself with this last couple records that we got, and I can see him really shaping up into catching up a moment. I really want him to really have a moment. I'm anticipating him to have a moment this year. I really hope he does, but if not, I guess we should still get an album regardless. I know he's working on an album. I know there's an album tucked there somewhere, but yes, he will still be eyeing a hit song before he releases any album. But anyway, the Lord is gonna take control, man, for Fireboy Matter. And I hope he wins. I hope he wins big in 2024, man.
Give me one break, I need faith to believe you.
All right, Tems, we need that album. I'm sorry, Tems, we really need that album yesterday, okay? Tems easily having one of the most anticipated debut albums for any act, maybe since Rema, I would say. Maybe since Rema. I think she's easily one of the biggest names out of Nigeria. Her brand, obviously, on a very premium level. She was able to still stay in the zeitgeist or stay in the conversation, even without dropping an album last year. But you can attribute all of that to probably her being on the feature with Future and Drake, and then going on to win a Grammy with them, or maybe when she was disturbing the Oscars with her dress, and then even getting nominated for an Oscars, gracing so many magazines, many high fashion brand magazines across the world, and even getting Kendrick Lamar to interview her in one of these magazines. I mean, there were so many moments that Tems was in our face, okay? Tems was definitely pulling the work to basically sow some seed here and there, getting different placements here and there to let us know who she is, and she's still maintaining that brand so well and gracefully, you know. But it's almost time, or at least it's due time, to follow that up with some material. Yes, we got 2 singles out of her last year, which was Me and You, and then the other one was Not an Angel. These are 2 songs that show the span of her pop leaning attributes, where she goes into more Afrobeats type of moments, or in this case some Amapiano influences, and some of the rudimentary alternative R&B landscape that she goes to, like something you can compare to from For Broken Ears on the song Not an Angel. So she's definitely like weighing her options here to see what is connecting with her fans, and I think she obviously is working towards an album. It only makes sense that she follows this amazing run, and everybody's itching for this album. It's a make or break moment, or would I say it's a make or break moment? Kind of, but she's operating right now with a lot behind her, with a lot of work, okay? And so many people, so many hands are on this project called Tems, and it's that sounded crazy, but yes, essentially there are so many people that have been invested in Tems and have poured so much into this artist that it makes it for a very high pressured moment for her, to be honest. And I think it's crazy, but it's gonna be one of the most talked about moments, and it's very anticipated, and it's one of the reasons why I have it on this list. Of course, I wanted it last year, okay? This made my list last year. We didn't get it, but we're getting it this year. I see a lot of the signs say that we are getting the album this year, so I'm looking forward to it. And last but definitely not the least, Wizkid is dropping an album this year. It just has to happen, okay? Another artist needing a redemption story. He kind of had a fairly quiet 2023, and you could say some 2022 as well, with his album not necessarily picking up to the point where you would love to. Wizkid is one of the greats, okay? And with one of the greats, with the trajectory that he has, with the discography that he has, it only makes sense that he kind of like bounces back into a point where he is fond of, okay? And I'm anticipating this album. Obviously, we've gotten some glimpse into it, or at least the soundscape that he is in. It's very much so in the same ballpark of Made in Lagos and More Love, Less Ego. And this last EP also showed those signs as well. So we're not necessarily getting a different Wizkid, but I would love to see where he is heading right now. I know 9 to 5, the song with Caveman, should be on that album.
And I go there for you for long.
That was a phenomenal record that didn't make it to his EP, which made me think he is saving that song for an album, and I would love to see that album. More records with Caveman if possible. And I know P Prime as well. He's tucked in with P Prime, one of the brilliant producers that the scene has to offer. And I'm anticipating Wizkid, man. This year, 2024, let's get an album, bro. Let's get an album. All right, that's my list for my most anticipated albums this year. I'm curious if any of these artists are one of your most anticipated albums this year. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.